I was standing in my childhood bedroom folding clothes into a garbage bag, not a suitcase, a garbage bag, when my mother said the words that would end everything between us. "You don't deserve to be here anymore." I froze, a sweater halfway into the bag. She was in my doorway, arms crossed, watching me pack like I was a tenant being evicted. Behind her, my sister-in-law Rachel stood in the hallway, already measuring my walls with her eyes, planning where the crib would go. "Your brother actually needs this space," Mom continued, her voice flat and final. "Rachel's pregnant, they need a nursery, and you're 24 years old." She paused. "You don't even pay rent." That's how it ended. But the betrayal? That had been building for 2 years. I moved back home when I was 22, right after college. Graphic design degree, $40,000 in student loans, and a job market that paid barely above minimum wage. My mom had actually suggested it, called me herself and said, "Come home, sweetheart, save some money, get on your feet." It sounded smart, responsible, temporary. My older brother Derek had never left. He was 28, worked in sales, and occupied the master bedroom, the one with the attached bathroom and walk-in closet. I remember asking my mom once why he got that room instead of her and Dad. She laughed. "Oh honey, we don't need all that space. Derek's been here. It's his room." Derek had been getting on his feet for 6 years, but I didn't push back. I never did. I took my old bedroom with the powder blue walls and glow-in-the-dark stars still stuck to the ceiling, got a freelance design job, bought groceries when I could, helped around the house, kept telling myself I was being smart, building savings. What I was really doing was making myself invisible. Derek met Rachel at a conference. 3 months later, she moved in. No family meeting. No discussion. She just appeared at dinner one night, and my mother was setting an extra place, like it had been planned all along. Rachel was pleasant enough, smiled at the right times, complimented my mom's cooking, but I noticed the way she looked at the house, like she was cataloging everything, deciding what stayed and what went. The small changes started immediately. My mom asked me to be quieter in the mornings because Rachel liked to sleep in. Then I had to move my shampoo out of the main bathroom. Rachel needed the shelf space for her products. Little things. Reasonable requests if you didn't string them together. I was stringing them together. When Derek proposed after 4 months, my mother cried. Happy tears, she said. She'd waited so long for him to settle down. The wedding was small, quick, at a bed and breakfast upstate. I wore a 3-year-old dress and smiled for the camera. At the reception, my mom squeezed my hand and said, "Isn't this wonderful? Your brother is finally settled." Finally. Like his life had just now started counting. The conversation about my room happened on a Tuesday afternoon. I came home from a coffee shop where I'd been designing a logo for a local brewery. My mom and Rachel were in the kitchen, paint swatches spread across the counter. I said hello. Rachel smiled, but my mom wouldn't look at me. "We need to talk," she said. I set my bag down slowly. "Okay." "Rachel's pregnant." The words hung there for a second. I forced a smile. "Oh, congratulations." Rachel touched her barely showing stomach. "We're really excited." My mom aligned the paint swatches into a perfect stack. "They're going to need space. A nursery." I waited. The kitchen was so quiet I could hear the refrigerator humming. "Your room gets the best light," Mom said, still not meeting my eyes. "And it's right next to theirs, which will make nighttime feedings easier." It took me a full 5 seconds to understand what she was actually saying. "You want me to give up my room?" "We need you to be flexible," she corrected. "The basement is finished. You'd have your own space down there." The basement flooded every spring. It smelled like mildew year-round, and had one tiny window near the ceiling that barely let in light. "For how long?" My mom glanced at Rachel, then back at the paint samples. "Indefinitely. The baby will need that room for years." "Where would I put my things?" Rachel's voice was casual, almost sympathetic. "You don't really have that much, do you?" She said it like she'd already been through my room. Maybe she had. I looked at my mother, waiting for her to acknowledge how insane this was. Waiting for her to say, "You don't displace your daughter for a grandchild that hasn't even been born yet." Instead, she folded the paint swatches in half. "It's just a room, sweetie. Family makes sacrifices." I didn't argue. That's the part that still keeps me up at night. I told them I needed a few days to think about it. My mom nodded like she was being generous, like I actually had a choice in any of this. I spent those days waiting for someone to admit this was wrong. I thought Derek might step in, tell Mom they'd figure something else out. But Derek started avoiding me completely. Suddenly he had late meetings every night. When I did see him in the hallway, he looked past me like I was furniture. On Thursday, I came home and found boxes stacked outside my bedroom door. Not moving boxes. Baby boxes. Diapers. Formula. A flat-pack crib leaning against the wall. My mom was in the hallway, examining a paint chip. "We're starting this weekend," she said without looking up. "Rachel wants the nursery done early. You know, nesting." I didn't agree to move. Her face hardened instantly. "You're being selfish." That word landed like a slap. Selfish. Like wanting to keep my childhood bedroom was an act of cruelty. "Mom, I help out here. I contribute to groceries. I clean. You don't pay rent," she cut me off. "Derek and Rachel are building a family. They need support. If you can't be part of that, then maybe you need to find your own place." I stared at her. This was the same woman who'd begged me to move home, who'd told me I was being smart and responsible. "Are you kicking me out?" "I'm asking you to grow up." I started packing that night. Not into the basement, into garbage bags. Because I knew I wasn't staying. It took 3 trips to load everything into my car. My mom stood on the porch the entire time, arms crossed, watching. She didn't help. Didn't apologize. She told me I was being dramatic, that I could come back anytime I got my priorities straight. Before I'd even pulled out of the driveway, Rachel was in my room. I could see her through the window, pulling down my posters, touching my books like they were contaminated. My dad never left his recliner. Just sat there watching TV, pretending his daughter wasn't being erased from the house. Derek texted me that night. "Sorry it went down like this. You know how Mom gets." I didn't respond. What was there to say? I crashed on a friend's couch for 2 weeks, sending out applications for jobs in other cities, anywhere far enough that I wouldn't have to pretend anymore. My mom didn't call. She sent one text. "When you're ready to apologize, we can talk." Apologize? For what? For existing? Then I got coffee with an old mutual friend, someone who'd known Derek in high school. She was awkward about it, circling the topic before finally just saying it. "You know your brother got a huge promotion, right?" I didn't. "Yeah," she continued, uncomfortable now. 6 figures. Closed some massive deal. Your mom was bragging about it at church." My coffee went cold in my hands. She said Derek and Rachel were looking at houses, nice ones, but they wanted to stay with your parents for a few months to save up for a bigger down payment. The truth settled over me slowly, like dust. They were never staying. They didn't need my room. They were just being cheap. I drove to my parents' house that same afternoon. My mom answered the door like nothing had happened. "Oh honey, I'm so glad you came. Are you ready to talk? Is Derek buying a house?" Something flickered across her face, but her expression didn't change. "Eventually, they're being smart about money. So they don't need my room, they're not even staying." It's not that simple. It is though. My voice was steady now. Calm. "They're only here temporarily. The nursery could have been anywhere. The guest room. The basement you wanted me in." I paused. "But you chose my room because it was easier to push me out than to ask Derek to compromise." Her jaw tightened. "You don't understand what it takes to raise a family." "No," I said, "but I understand what it's like to be part of one." I paused. Or I thought I did. I didn't yell. I didn't cry. I just turned around and left. Derek and Rachel bought their house 3 months later. 4 bedrooms, 2-car garage, granite countertops. My mom helped them move on a Saturday. The following week she called me. "Your room's available if you want to come back." I didn't answer right away. I'd already accepted a job in another state by then. Small apartment, decent salary, enough distance that I didn't have to perform gratitude anymore. "No," I finally said. "I'm good." There was silence on the line. Then, "You're really gonna hold a grudge over this?" I almost laughed. "I'm not holding a grudge, Mom. I'm just done pretending." She sent me a birthday card last month. Inside, in her careful handwriting, "We miss you. Love, Mom." Not "I'm sorry." Not "I was wrong." Just "We miss you." I keep thinking about that card. About whether I'm supposed to forgive people who won't even admit they hurt you. Whether refusing to come back makes me vindictive or whether it's just self-preservation. My mom tells people I abandoned the family over a bedroom. that I should have been happy to sacrifice for my brother's future. And some days, late at night, I wonder if she's right. Maybe I am selfish. Maybe good daughters just endure. But then I remember standing in that hallway with garbage bags at my feet, my mother telling me I didn't deserve to be there, and Rachel already redecorating my childhood bedroom before I'd even left the driveway. And I think, maybe I didn't deserve that. So here's what I need to know. Was I wrong to leave? Should I have taken the basement, swallowed the humiliation, kept the peace for the sake of family? Or was walking away the only way to prove I was worth more than the space I took up? Because honestly, I still don't know. And maybe I never will. What do you think? Let me know in the comments.